You look fine on the outside, but inside, you're still bleeding. I know because I've been there. I've stood in rooms full of people, smiling, talking, functioning, while inside I was falling apart. I've mastered the art of looking okay when I wasn't, of holding it together when everything inside me was breaking, of moving forward when every step felt like I was dragging the weight of 1,000 wounds I couldn't see but always felt. Maybe that's you right now. Maybe you've learned to function through the pain, to perform through the heaviness, to survive through the brokenness. You go to work, you take care of your family, you show up, you smile. But inside, there's a war no one else knows about. Wounds no one else can see. Scars that ache in silence. Pain buried so deep, you've almost convinced yourself it's not there anymore. But it is. And you feel it. Every day. In the quiet moments. In the stillness. In the space between your breath and your heartbeat. But God sees it. All of it. The wounds you've hidden. The pain you've buried. The trauma you've never processed. The hurt you've never spoken. The brokenness you've learned to live with. God sees it. And He's not afraid of it. He's not overwhelmed by it. He's not turned off by it. He's reaching into those places right now. Into the deepest, darkest, most broken parts of you. And He's healing you. From the inside out. Psalm 147 verse 3 says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Not just the visible wounds. Not just the ones you can explain. Not just the ones that make sense. All of them. The ones buried beneath layers of survival. The ones you've tried to forget. The ones you've never told anyone about. God sees them. And He's binding them up. He's healing them. One wound at a time. One scar at a time. One broken piece at a time. I used to think healing meant the pain would disappear instantly. That one prayer, one moment of faith, and everything inside me would be made whole. But I learned that healing is a process. It's not always fast. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, slow, gentle. Like God is carefully stitching together pieces of your heart that have been shattered for years. Like He's tenderly removing shrapnel you didn't even know was still lodged inside you. Like He's patiently rebuilding a foundation that crumbled long ago. Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 17 says, But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord. Restore, heal, not ignore, not cover up, not pretend it's not there. Restore, heal. God is doing surgery on your soul. He's reaching into places no human hand can touch. Into memories that still hurt. Into fears that still control. Into shame that still whispers. Into grief that still weighs. And He's healing it. All of it. Maybe you're carrying wounds from childhood. Things that happened to you when you were too young to understand. Too small to defend yourself. Too innocent to deserve. Abuse, neglect, abandonment, trauma. And you've spent your whole life trying to move past it, trying to forget it, trying to act like it didn't shape you. But it did. And those wounds are still there. Still affecting you. Still hurting you. Still controlling parts of your life you wish they didn't. But God is reaching into that little child inside you, the one who was hurt, the one who was scared, the one who never got the love they needed. And He's holding them. He's comforting them. He's saying, I see what happened to you. I see what they did. I see what you lost. And I'm going to heal it. I'm going to restore what was stolen. I'm going to rebuild what was broken. Maybe you're carrying wounds from betrayal. Someone you trusted broke your heart. Someone you loved walked away. Someone you believed in turned out to be someone completely different. And that betrayal cut so deep that you don't know if you'll ever trust again. You've built walls. You've shut people out. You've decided it's safer to be alone than to risk being hurt again. But God is healing that too. He's teaching you that not everyone is like the person who hurt you. That not every relationship will end in betrayal. That it's possible to trust again without being destroyed. He's restoring your ability to love, to connect, to believe in people again. Psalm 55 verse 22 says, Cast your cares on the Lord and He will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. God will sustain you. He won't let you be shaken. You can trust Him with your heart, and He'll help you trust again. Maybe you're carrying wounds from failure. You tried and it didn't work. You believed and it didn't happen. You stepped out and you fell. And now you carry the weight of disappointment, of regret, of wondering if you'll ever be brave enough to try again. You feel stuck, paralyzed, afraid that if you risk again, you'll fail again. And you don't think you can survive another loss. But God is healing that fear. He's reminding you that failure is not final, that falling is not the end, that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 18 and 19 say, Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it? God is doing a new thing. Not repeating the old, not revisiting the past. A new thing. And He's healing the wounds from what didn't work so you can step into what will. I learned something profound about God's healing. It doesn't always look the way we think it should. Sometimes healing isn't the removal of pain. Sometimes it's the grace to carry it without being destroyed by it. Sometimes healing isn't forgetting what happened. Sometimes it's remembering without being controlled by it. Sometimes healing isn't feeling nothing. Sometimes it's feeling everything and still choosing to trust God through it. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 9 says, But He said to me, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. God's grace is sufficient, even when the wound still aches, even when the memory still stings, even when the scar still reminds you of what you lost. His grace is enough. His power is made perfect in your weakness, and He's healing you in ways you might not recognize yet. But it's happening, layer by layer, piece by piece, wound by wound. Maybe you're wondering how long this will take, how much more you have to endure, how many more tears you have to cry before you finally feel whole. I don't have an answer for that, but I know this. God is faithful. He finishes what He starts. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 says, being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. He began a good work in you, and He will complete it. He won't abandon you halfway through. He won't leave you broken. He will heal you completely, fully, from the inside out. So, if you're in the middle of the healing process right now, if you're feeling the weight of wounds you've carried for years, if you're wondering if you'll ever feel whole again, hear this. You will. God is healing you right now, in this moment, in ways you can't see yet. He's reaching into the deepest parts of you and mending what was broken. He's lifting burdens you've carried for too long. He's restoring joy you thought was gone forever. He's rebuilding a foundation that feels shattered. You might not feel it today. You might not see it tomorrow. But one day you'll wake up and realize something has shifted. The pain isn't as sharp. The weight isn't as heavy. The wound doesn't control you anymore. And you'll know. God was healing you all along, from the inside out, in the hidden places, in the broken places, in the places no one else could reach. Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 26 says, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. A new heart, a new spirit. God isn't just patching you up. He's making you new. He's removing what was hard, cold, broken, and replacing it with something soft, alive, whole. He's transforming you from the inside out. So trust the process. Trust the healer. Trust that every tear you've cried has been seen. Every prayer you've whispered has been heard. Every wound you've carried has been noticed. And God is healing you. Slowly, gently, completely, from the inside out. If this message touched your heart, don't stop here. In the description and in the pinned comment, there's something waiting to help you heal deeply, grow spiritually, and walk into the fullness of the restoration God has begun inside you.